I was just talking to Devi Pran about who we should do next, and I think we might be doing Swami Ramakrishna or Swami Sardananda. I'll let you know next week, because we're getting very close to the end of this book. Okay. Or maybe it might be Akhandananda. But, yeah.
Do you ever do pranas?
I'm sorry?
Do you ever do the pranas? Everything's Ananda.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's true, it is.
I feel rather out of place, but I enjoy it here.
I'm sorry, John, I didn't hear that last one. We've got a little noise going on here, too.
Oh, that's okay. I was just kidding you. I said, as being the token male in the group, you know, it doesn't threaten my masculinity at all.
Huh. Okay. So we're on page 117 in the book. And it's Swami Aparnananda's reminiscences of when he was with Premananda in Belur Math.
Say the page again.
It's 117 in my book.
Oh, not in mine.
It's a chapter named At Belur Monastery with Swami Premananda by Swami Aparnananda.
Ah.
Okay? What page is it in your book, Sunanda?
171.
Oh, okay. Wow, there's a lot more in the new book then. Unless this is misnumbered. No? My book only goes up to page 156. They must have added things. Okay. So, we'll go ahead and start. Today is a celebration of Shivaratri, the night of Shiva. We arrived at the monastery long after a long absence. The shrine was not yet opened. We saw Swami Premananda standing by the tea table on the veranda and prostrated before him. He said, "Hello there. You haven't been at the monastery for a long time. How are you?" I answered his question, and he remarked, "Tonight there will be an all-night worship of Shiva in the shrine room. Why don't you stay?" "I came here without letting my family know about it," I told him. "If I'm not home in the evening, they will worry." Swami Premananda said, "Shivang Shantang Sundaram. He is all good, all peace, all beauty. Satyang Sunandaram. He is truth, he is beauty. Lord Shiva is so easily pleased." Taking vows and fasting on special days like this help us to develop discrimination and dispassion. They are aids in purifying the heart and thus prepare us for God vision and realization. It is important for every spiritual aspirant to observe such vows, to perform worship, and to pray. Lord Shiva is all good, all peace, all beauty, and he is so easily pleased. This time, Sri Ramakrishna came as Shiva, united with his Shakti, his divine power. He granted faith to the doubting Mathur Babu and gave him ecstasy by revealing to him the form of Shiva and Shakti in himself. Then Swami Premananda asked us, "Have you read the Leela Prasanga?" Sri Ramakrishna, the great master. One day, after his midday rest, Mathur Babu was sitting on the porch of his cottage. Suddenly, he noticed that Sri Ramakrishna was pacing up and down on the northern veranda. Whenever the master walked in the eastern direction, Mathur saw him as Mother Kali. And when he walked back towards the west, he saw him as Shiva. Mathur Babu kept watching, and he wondered if his eyes were deceiving him. He rubbed his eyes and looked again. Once more, he saw the master walking back and forth. From the back, he again appeared as Kali, and from the front, Shiva. Then Mathur Babu ran to the master, fell at his feet, and wept. Sri Ramakrishna repeatedly tried to console him, but Mathur, weeping, exclaimed, "Father, now I know who you are." The master said to him, "If people see you like this, what will they say? Control yourself." Once Sri Ramakrishna told his devotees, "The Divine Mother received many visions in this," pointing to his body, revealed many visions in this, pointing to his body, to Mathur. That is why he gave so much service. The devotees were listening eagerly to the words of Swami Premananda. The Swami, absorbed in devotion to Shiva, sang a song. Then he continued, "Tonight we will have an all-night worship of the great god Shiva. There will be singing and dancing. The whole monastery will vibrate." Swamiji once dressed Girish as Shiva. Ah, those were wonderful days. They are gone with the passing away of Swamiji. Swamiji himself was Shiva. What joy he used to give us all. Just remembering him, our hair stands on end, and we feel an ecstatic thrill. Today is the birthday of Sri Ramakrishna. We arrived at the Math early in the morning to attend the special worship and to stay at the monastery for the rest of the day. Now, Ramakrishna's birthday is usually about 3 days after Shivaratri, so they're still in Calcutta and coming to the Math. Swami Premananda seemed to be in an ecstatic mood the whole day long. The worship began. Today, all the other divine incarnations were worshipped along with Sri Ramakrishna. Swami Premananda was supervising the devotees who were working in groups. Occasionally he chanted, "Hail Sri Guru Maharaj," and the devotees chanted with him. The cooking had begun the night before. We were seated at the door of the shrine room and watched the worship, which was finished at noon. There was a wonderful spiritual atmosphere. The master's picture was decorated with a yellow cloth and wrapper, and fragrant garlands were offered to him. Vases with roses and tulips adorned the room. The shrine and the whole monastery compound were pervaded with the fragrance of flowers and incense, and all the devotees were supremely happy. In the visitors' room downstairs, they were singing Kali Kirtan, devotional music to Mother Kali. When the food offering to the Lord was finished, lights were waved to the accompaniment of gong, bells, and the blowing of the conch shell, which filled the devotees with an extraordinary spiritual mood. After the waving of the lights, all chanted the hymn to Sri Ramakrishna, beginning, "Breaker of this world's chain, we adore thee, whom all men love." That's Khandana, which is done every night at Vespers. Preparations were made for the Homa fire, a Vedic ceremony in which oblations are offered into the flames, and for the distribution of prasad, the sanctified food. Seats, leaf plates, and earthen cups for water were arranged under the mango trees. When the prasad was brought, the devotees chanted, "Hail Guru Maharaj," and the sound of the chanting echoed through the monastery grounds. While they were eating, Swami Premananda stood before the devotees with folded hands, as if he was seeing the Lord in them. And with the same devotion with which he performed the worship of Sri Ramakrishna, he supervised the serving of the devotees. Words fail to express his ecstatic mood. Every devotee is God. This was the feeling he conveyed. The feeding of the devotees to him was the same as feeding the Lord. Maharaj had arrived the evening before from Balaram's house in Calcutta. and his presence during the worship and homa fire increased the spiritual atmosphere 100-fold. More than 1,000 devotees had prasad. That night, worship of Mother Kali was performed. After the Vesper service, we returned home. I was not fortunate enough to attend the Kali Puja that night. The following Sunday was the public celebration of Sri Ramakrishna's birthday. Now, they had 1,000 at the private one. Okay. From early morning on, the monastery grounds had turned into a forest of people with the multitude who had arrived by steamer and hundreds of boats. Bookstalls and shops selling sweets and fruit punch dotted the compound, and a huge canopy was set up. A small replica of mountains, waterfall, and forest had been modeled. In the center of this miniature landscape, there was a lake with a lotus in bloom. Sri Ramakrishna's large oil painting was placed on the lotus, and the devotees offered worship to the picture with flowers, bilbo leaves, garlands, sweets, and fruits. In various places on the compound, there were singers, and a poetry competition and a Kali Kirtan party were going on. On the bank of the Ganga, a group played instrumental music. Volunteers from different societies were looking after the devotees' comfort, and Swami Premananda seemed to be everywhere, with Swami Dhirananda and others assisting him. Swami Sardananda arrived at the Math and sat with Maharaj on the veranda facing the Ganga. About 11 o'clock in the morning, Maharaj, with many devotees who had known Sri Ramakrishna, Sanyal, Kishori Roy, Mahendra Kaviraj, and Ramlal Dada, came downstairs and began to walk around the monastery grounds. When they arrived at the place where the devotees were eating, Swami Premananda and all who were present began to chant. Then Maharaj's party visited all the places where there was singing and dancing. When they came to the mango trees where Kali Kirtan was held, some devotees brought chairs for Maharaj, Swami Sardananda, and Ramlal Dada, and they listened to the music. In the evening, there were fireworks, and after the fireworks, we returned home. When we arrived at Belur Math this time, we found Swami Premananda seated on the veranda facing the Ganga. He was talking to the devotees. Today is the birth anniversary of Sri Chaitanya, who was the embodiment of love, the great 15th century Vaishnava saint who was famed for his ecstatic devotion to Krishna. Today at Navadip, his birthplace, there is a mart of joy. We did not have much respect for the religion of Sri Chaitanya because those who lose their caste become Vaishnavas. But what have we learned? Sri Ramakrishna saw in Sri Chaitanya's faith the truth of the eternal religion. He had the ecstatic vision of Chaitanya and Nityananda, Sri Chaitanya's first disciple, and thus he raised the religion of the Vaishnavas to new heights. The Brahmani came to Sri Ramakrishna and read the Vaishnava scriptures to him. She made him attain the supreme goal through the practices of the spiritual disciplines of the Vaishnavas. The master followed the paths of many religions and sects, and having reached the highest spiritual experience through each one of them, he made Swamiji preach this truth to the world. As many religions, so many paths. Sri Ramakrishna and Swamiji are the two sides of the same coin. Among us, the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, Swamiji alone truly understood the Master. One day there was a discussion about Chaitanya's religion in Sri Ramakrishna's room. The Master quoted Chaitanya's teaching: to take delight in chanting the name of God, to have compassion for all beings, and to serve the devotees of God. When these conditions are fulfilled, one realizes Krishna. Uttering these words, the Master went into ecstasy and exclaimed, "Compassion for beings? Compassion? Nonsense. Who are you to have compassion? Service to Narayan, the Lord in the form of creatures." Swamiji heard this, came out of Sri Ramakrishna's room, and said, "Today, the Master has revealed a new truth to us. If ever I am given the opportunity, I will proclaim this truth to the world." That is why Swamiji established homes of service, in order that one may see and worship Narayana in all beings. Hail, Swamiji. Swami Premananda folded his hands and bowed down repeatedly, thinking of Swamiji. Then he continued, "Swamiji is Narayan, Narayana's man, one of the 7 seers. Lord Shiva himself took his form for the good of mankind. He incarnated himself for the good of many, for the happiness of many. Don't you see it in what a short time he created a tremendous sensation in the world? As the days pass, you will understand that everything he taught is true. He sowed seeds which will sprout and grow into a huge tree, and in the shade of this tree, the world will find peace. Hail, Swamiji, the incarnation of Shiva." Another day. Today begins the new Bengali year. Many devotees have come to the Math to get the blessings of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. My friend and I arrived at the monastery, and after prostrating in the shrine room, we went to see Swami Premananda. He was seated in the visitors' room surrounded by devotees. A little while earlier, the monks and brahmacharis had been singing. Now they left to attend to their respective duties. Swami Premananda sang in a low voice, "O Lord, when I behold thy face and see love beyond compare, what fear have I of earthly sorrows? What calamities can befall me? As the rising sun dispels all darkness, so when thy holy light lights the heart of the devotee, all woes disappear and sweet peace reigns." The Swami did not finish the song, but began to talk again. How can there be any sorrow or suffering if one beholds the face of the beloved Lord? The Master used to say, "Don't waste your human birth. Life is evanescent. Somehow or other attain the vision of the Lord and make your life sweet. Blessed is he who accomplishes this." Of course, everything depends upon his grace. But again, as the Master used to say, the breeze of his grace is always blowing. Set your sail to catch this breeze of grace, and surely you will feel it. A few days later, I went to the monastery again. It was 5:30 in the afternoon. Swami Premananda was seated on a bench under a mango tree, and many devotees were sitting in front of him. Swami Premananda. Swamiji preached karma yoga for all mankind. In course of time, that will become the religion of the age. It means to work selflessly, offering the fruits of one's actions to the feet of the Lord. By performing selfless work, the karma yogis will be blessed in attaining the same result which the followers of the path of knowledge and devotion reach by practicing their spiritual disciplines. In name, the yogas differ, but they all lead to the same goal. Many people think of work as the cause of bondage, but any yoga may be the cause of bondage, if it is not followed correctly. In the Mahabharata, the examples of a hunter and a chaste wife show how karma yoga leads to the attainment of God. The truth is, it is not possible to realize God unless one becomes completely desireless. Ram Prasad used to sing, "Burn all your desires, and the ashes will purify you." You are all young boys. Your minds are still like soft clay and can be molded the way you wish to mold them. By renunciation alone, immortality is attained. The master used to say, if you repeat the word Gita 12 times, it will become Tagi, which means one who renounces the world for the sake of God. He who has renounced all cravings has become ever free and blissful. Hear, all ye children of immortal bliss, you are the children of immortality. Where is death for you? Hail Guru Maharaj, hail Swamiji, Hari Om. And that's the last of the reminiscences. We're going to start on the letters. Any questions or comments on the reminiscences? Okay. They are beautiful, aren't they? I know. He was, well, Premananda bliss. Divine love. Okay, the first letters are letters to Swami Abhedananda. Now, the following letters, somewhat informal in tone, were addressed to Swami Abhedananda, who had been writing and lecturing in the United States since 1897. The first letter is a beautiful and graphic description of the passing away of Swami Vivekananda, perhaps one of the most intimate accounts ever written of Swamiji's final day in earthly form. In the second letter, composed 13 years later, Premananda assumes an entirely different tone. With the exception of a visit in 1906, Abhedananda has been gone from India for 18 years. Has he forgotten them? Why does he remain so silent? It is our fervent wish that you come back to us, Premananda writes. Abhedananda did return, but not until 1921, 3 years after his brother disciple's death. The third letter was written in April of the following year, and in it, Premananda informs Abhedananda of some of the happenings at home, wishing him success in his American work. Okay, so the first letter describing Swamiji's death. August 20th, 1902. Dear Brother Kali, we are still living in a daze, as it were. The spiritual power which emanated from Swamiji, those words that were spoken with authority which urged us to move onward and forward, those discussions we used to have which broadened our vision, they all seem to have disappeared. Under Ayurvedic treatment, Swamiji was practically cured. He was not ill at the time he passed away. He gave up his body of his own free will in samadhi. For about 2 months before his death, Swamiji encouraged the young monks to meditate regularly, and he himself joined them. For some time, I noticed that a strong dispassion had arisen in him. Often I heard him chant, for what purpose and for what satisfaction of what craving should this body continue to breathe? He would ask, do you remember the 2 songs which Thakur loved to hear during the last days of his life? Then Swamiji would sing, O Mother, enchantress of the universe, how thou hast deluded the beings of this universe, etc. And again he would sing, O when shall I be completely absorbed in samadhi at the feet of Mother Shama? These became his favorite songs. But as you know, he continued to lay stress on the ideal of karma yoga. And about 10 or 15 days before his passing, he sent Brother Tarak, Swami Shivananda, to Varanasi to open an ashram there. For some days, he strongly desired to found a college for the study of the Vedas at the Math in Belur. Even on the day he died, 3 letters were written to publishers in Bombay and Pune, asking him to send their publications on the Vedas. That day, he told me many of his ideas concerning the Vedic college. I asked him what good would result from the study of the Vedas. His simple answer was that people would thus be freed from the superstitious ideas that had attached themselves to Hinduism. Sarat, Swami Sardananda, and Rakhal, Swami Premananda, were away for a few days in Calcutta on business. Of all the older brothers, only 2 of us, Gopal Datta, Swami Advaitananda, whose birthday it is today, and myself were at the Math at the time Swamiji passed away. He was not ill at all. Do you understand? That morning after his meditation, as was his custom, he teased me, joked with me, and made us roar with laughter. He ate fruit and drank warm milk as usual, but that day he showed great eagerness to feed me. Later, the first shad of the season from the Ganga was brought. Swamiji joked with me about the price. I'd paid for it. There was a young disciple of his from East Bengal, now East Pakistan, actually now Bangladesh, visiting the monastery, and he told him, I understand that you people offer worship when you get the first shad of the season. Offer worship the way you do in your part of the country. While we were walking together, Swamiji remarked, don't ever imitate me. Thakur forbade anybody to imitate another. Don't be extravagant like me. Then he talked in detail about the Vedic college. He said also that he had consulted the Vedas on what they say about the Sushumna nerve, the central channel of the spine, and he remarked that the commentary is not correct. So he asked us to try to get the meaning of the original texts ourselves. About 8:30 in the morning, he went to the shrine to meditate. At 9:30, I went to the shrine in order to perform the worship. When Swamiji saw me, he asked me to have the mat on which he used to sit in meditation placed in the room adjacent to the shrine, where Thakur's photo is kept on a bed during the night. It is known as Thakur's bedroom. I put his mat there, and he asked me to close all the doors and windows. On other days, he used to sit in a corner of the shrine room to meditate while I performed the worship. That particular day, he changed his plan. At about 11 o'clock, he got up from meditation and sang to himself, "Who says my mother is black? The black one with flowing hair lights the lotus of my heart." Swamiji ate with great relish the shad which had been prepared in a variety of ways, fried, pickled, and stewed. He remarked that he was very hungry as he had fasted the previous day, which was Ekadashi, the 11th day after the full or new moon, which he observed a fast. After his lunch, Swamiji talked with me on various subjects and then rested for a while. At 1 p.m, he woke me up and said, "Come, let us read something. I can't sleep today. I got a headache after meditating. My brain seems to have become weak." We sat in the library, and for 3 hours, he explained Panini's Sanskrit grammar. At 4 o'clock, he asked me to accompany him, and we walked outside the mock garden on the road for a while. As he noticed a garden on the side of the road, he described what a beautiful garden Mr. Leggett had in America. He told how in that country people easily keep their gardens clean and beautiful through the help of machines. We returned to the Math after 5:30. Then Swamiji explained to me in considerable detail the history of European civilization. He also spoke of the history of colonialism. At dusk, when I went to the shrine room, he performed the Vesper service. Swamiji talked with Shashi's father, that's Swami Ramakrishna, talked with Shashi's father for a long time. Then he went upstairs. In those days, he had an attendant named Brajendra who came from East Bengal. Swamiji said to him, "I feel very light in the body. I feel very well." Seated in his room, Swamiji asked Brajendra to give him his rosary. Then he wanted to be left alone. He told Brajendra, "Come when I call for you." After about an hour, Swamiji called for his attendant and asked him to fan him for a while and then to massage his feet. While his feet were massaged, Swamiji dozed for nearly half an hour. Then his hands trembled for a few seconds. The next moment he sighed a deep sigh and went into samadhi. Brajendra became very worried and called Gopal Dada to see what had happened to Swamiji. Within a couple of minutes, I came to Swamiji's room. I realized that he was completely absorbed in samadhi. I sent for Shashi's father and requested him to chant in Swamiji's ear the holy name of Guru Maharaj to bring him back to normal consciousness. I saw how luminous Swamiji's face was. His eyes were open, and they had a heavenly expression emanating spiritual power. He was clad only in a loincloth, and I noticed how effulgent and beautiful his body was. The next day, the others who saw this radiant face forgot their grief. It was as if Lord Shiva were lying there. Swamiji's body retained its lifelike appearance. Of his own free will, he had given up his body. That night, Dr. Majumdar was asked to come and examine him. Sharat, Rakal, and Sanyal also came. The doctor examined Swamiji but could not diagnose the cause of his death. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell Swamiji, "The day you come to know who you really are, you will leave the body," and so it happened. We want to build a temple dedicated to Lord Shiva and a pillared hall facing the temple at the place where Swamiji's body was cremated. The people of Calcutta are arranging a memorial service. In Madras, such a meeting has already been held. Funds are forthcoming. Brother Rakal would have written to you himself, but he is suffering from a bad cold and fever. Sharat has gone to Calcutta. Brother Hari was ill when he arrived. He feels a little better now. Sarda, Swami Trigunatita, will soon be leaving for America to replace Brother Hari. Swamiji had arranged this before his death. We shall try to continue Swamiji's work to the best of our ability. Thus have we resolved. Write to me how you are. Please accept our loving greetings. Revered Holy Mother is doing well in Jairambati. We learned that S is going to America. He always speaks ill of us. Be careful of him. Yours affectionately, Babaram. And any questions about any of that? And that happened on the 4th of July. Swamiji gave up his body. Any questions or comments? Okay. Saturday, we will be having the Bhagavad Gita class with Swami Sarvadevananda at 5 o'clock here in the temple. And the Sunday lecture will be doing our duties. Okay. Mark down, the next Saturday will be Karma Yoga Day. And we're going to need a little help in moving stuff. So, anyone that can come, please do. We'll end with a chant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. We'll see you all. Have a good weekend.